2022 is already moving along quickly, with a lot going on in all the settings where we advocate for you. That includes the state capitol. Unfortunately, lawmakers have recently passed a bill that was strongly opposed by the CRA, the International Franchise Association, and many local business organizations that are part of our coalition. The bill is AB 257. You may have heard this referred to by its supporters as the Fast Recovery Act, though it has nothing to do with recovery from the impacts of COVID, and there's nothing fast about it. The good news is we do have opportunities ahead to appeal to state legislators on this issue, and we will need your help. As you know by now, this bill aims to create a brand new government entity, a government council made up of unelected, unaccountable representatives. That government council would be made up of political appointees. They would have the authority to make labor law for counter-service restaurants. And yes, the policies they approve could even override the state legislature and even certain government agencies, including those that set public health policy. The Service Employees International Union, or SEIU, is the chief proponent of this bill. They have argued that restaurant workers, particularly in quick service restaurants, have been badly treated during the pandemic and need more representation in government. What the proponents don't acknowledge is that California has the nation's strongest, most comprehensive labor laws. Employers who violate labor law can be sued and taken to court by their employees, and they can be fined by the state. In other words, if you are a worker whose employer is breaking the law, you have recourse. Workers have a long list of government agencies to turn to, including the Labor Commissioner and Cal OSHA. This new government council, created by AB 257, would overlap and could at times even make workplace rules that contradict regulation and enforcement by those other agencies. AB 257 also does something else. It flips the restaurant franchise model on its head. The bill would strip franchisees of autonomy and reduce franchisees from independent business owners to corporate middle managers, seriously restricting new entrepreneurs who want to be in business for themselves but not by themselves and benefit from a brand that is already known to the public. So, not surprisingly, it's not just the business community that opposes this bill. It's also opposed by organizations who represent local governments, because a new government council would impact the work that cities and counties do. Lawmakers of both political parties rejected this legislation last summer at the CRA's urging and with your help. The bill got a second chance vote, which we had warned it would, and it squeaked out of the Assembly with the bare minimum votes needed. It now heads to the Senate. Interestingly, because Assembly members had so many concerns about this bill, several of them voted for it only after they heard promises that the author, Assemblymember Holden, will make necessary changes to the bill in the state Senate. That's where you come in. State senators need to hear from you. And to those of you who have already reached out to your state senator, thank you. Together, we generated more than 1,100 letters to lawmakers on this issue. And just look at this list of organizations who joined us in our opposition. There are nearly 4 dozen names here, but we will need more help. If you haven't already done so, head to the No Takeout Takeover website, which is linked in the description below. Here's a key thing to know. While this bill is directed at counter-service restaurants with more than 30 locations nationwide, its supporters have made it clear that they will come back to include the rest of the restaurant industry in this regulatory model. I'm Sabrina. That's the news you need to know.